Welcome back to the channel. This channel is called My Bike Build. It's a channel for bike dorks, nerd out about bikes basically. Watch me ride through Seattle. Watch me try to find every off-road dirt path I can find. And as I find myself as a cyclist, I'm really starting to understand more and more over the years the kind of cyclist that I am. What is lucky about me is that I don't know anything. Meaning, I know technical things about bikes, but I didn't grow up with a culture of bikes, so I'm not used to anything. So I'll try anything if it seems like it'll make the riding experience more fun. And I would say that is why I ride gravel bikes, because I think traditionally the people that I knew who got me into bikes were like road bikes are the thing. And so I rode a road bike, but I did not like being in a slam position. So eventually I found myself getting a touring bike. And then after that, 10 years later, I was like, a gravel bike. My tires just kept getting wider and wider, and I kept getting happier and happier. The wider my tires got, happier I was. So when I was starting this channel, believe you me, I watched a lot of YouTubing bike channels. And one of them that resonated with me, or I say resonated, still resonates because I still watch them, is The Path Less Pedaled, where this gentleman, Russ, he talks about the supple life. Really, his influence and the channel Bike Sauce, they really helped push me over the edge to get the Poseidon. And really, a lot of YouTubers helped me even find a lot of these bikes that I ended up desiring. The Fazari, it's crazy because I guess I'm one of those people that is terminally online, because it's funny when you take a step back and really talk to people who ride bikes. Most people aren't bike dorks. Most people who ride bikes, they just ride bikes. They just want the thing to work, quite frankly. But it's just the way my freaking mind works. If I own something and I have something, I want to know how it's built from the ground up, right? I'm a musician. I make my living doing music. And when I played on stage with my electric guitars, at the beginning, I would just buy electric guitars, that's fine. But then over time, I was like, I want to build one. I want a guitar in which every piece of it, I pick all of the parts. I pick the tuning pegs, the strings, the pickups, the electronics, the knobs, the knobs to turn the volume up, the body, the neck, everything, and the more time I have, I would even go deeper. I am definitely the kind of person, if I had the means, I would pay a luthier to build me a classical guitar. The attention to detail of things has always been appealing to me for whatever reason. So with bikes, it's the same thing. I want to know. I don't look at a bike as a whole. I look at it as a tool with a lot of different tools on it that help it function, right? It has a frame, it has a wheel set. And then the more you dork out on bikes, the more you realize everything can get broken down even more, right? Your wheel set is made up of a hub and spokes and the rim and nipples. And so once you start to get custom on these things, you realize every little piece of it. Your crank set is crank arms with a chain ring on it, right? With pedals attached to it. So the customizable nature of a bicycle just kind of lends itself to dorkiness, and it kind of lends itself to people having strong opinions about different components. And so if you did stumble upon this channel and you're a beginner with bikes, realize that bikes are really just a series of components affixed to a frame. And the way that it's built and put together is just as important as the parts you use to build it with. So, a well-built bike that works is the best bike for you. A bike that fits is the best bike for you. And it allows you to go on these beautiful adventures through gorgeous places like Seattle that are just awesome. It's awesome to be able to get on a simple machine and go for miles and miles and miles. And it really wasn't until I was an adult that I fully have embraced the joy. I guess I always embraced the joy of using self-powered machines to go long distances, but I really didn't understand how far people would ride on these bikes. And for, the novice bike rider, 25 miles, or I think I did 23 miles a day, when I first started riding seemed like, oh, wow, that's a lot. But having built up my stamina, it just does. I felt fine afterwards. I felt like I could do more. I could be out all day. And, there's days that with making this channel, I hope that one day I will be able to live out a dream in terms of just stay on the bike all day. Hopefully as my kid grows up and he really starts getting into cycling himself, I know he will be. So hopefully that can be accomplished. Me and him can just go out all day. We can go find dirt trails. And I actually want the comment section to tell me, like, I'm in the Pacific Northwest and I'm really trying to look for dirt, because this Cheesty Pig ride, as you can see from the footage, it was disappointing. I was on the road the whole time. I'm riding through freaking downtown Seattle right now. And don't get it twisted, it's a fun ride. I'm not angry, I'm not mad, but I'm on my own and I'm riding in the city. It's not the most awesome. It's like, I love cycling, so I'll do it. You know what I mean? It's awesome. But it's so much nicer to have people to go with. And hopefully by starting this channel, it'll help attach me or connect me to a community of people who are like-minded. And I'll be able to go ride around, So if you're in that Seattle area, and you ride, let me know what happens. Let me know what kind of riding you do. Get into the comment section. Or, if you're watching this from a whole different locale, another place, another country, it's freaking awesome. I don't know where people are from who watch this. I'd imagine most of them are Americans like me, or live in America like me. But if people but even still, America is so huge. So it's a beautiful shot of the Seattle Pier right here. It's the Ferris wheel. It's so lovely today. It was so amazing. That's a great place to do people watching on the pier. It's just, especially this time of year, just so many people are out, so many interesting and different looking people who are coming from all across the country and the world. There's a ferry terminal there, so all sorts of people getting off the ferry, there is a ferry terminal, but that's actually a cruise ship terminal. So those cruise ships are huge, like a floating hotel. And when you are up against them, you don't realize how big they are. And so now I'm trying to find that Elliott Bay Trail. I'm not trying to find it. I know where it is. I'm trying to reach it, I guess is what I'm saying. And boom, something about it's becoming like expensive to live out here. But when you have days like this, you're like, okay, I get it. It's like a hidden gem. I mean, I can't imagine when Seattle was in the 80s and 90s and no one really knew how amazing it was out here. But it's a cool city, man. Like, coming from Southern California, don't get it twisted. I would love to now go take my gravel bike and ride Cali, but SoCal. But I love living here. I mean, come on, look at this, man. You know what I'm saying? You get the woods, you get the beach on a day like today. The only thing you could say is that it'd be raining in the winter and the fall, but I'll take it. I like riding in the rain. If you get the right type of gear, you can do it. And when it comes rainy season, we'll see if people are still like into the channel, because I don't think people are riding like that in the winter. You know what I'm saying? I think the cycling falls off and everyone's giving discounts on bikes. So I'm going to be looking at bikes in the winter and see if they're giving me any discounts. I can't handle more than 2 bikes in my garage, but all of us bike dorks know, man, if you could own 50 of them, you would. And I try not to do that. I watch Tim Fitzgerald's channel. He does bike vlogging, so he's definitely inspirational, and you can kind of see some of my style, the way I'm creating content right now is not dissimilar at times. But he has a lot of bikes. And I'm like, dang, man, if I had more than, well, it depends on if if I had more space and I actually went mountain biking or I was closer to trails, then I could see myself having a mountain bike. And I was like, I could also see myself having an e-bike, right? Now that I have a kid and I would want to use that to go on adventures, family adventures, kind of in lieu of the car. That would be really awesome. So a mountain bike and an e-bike would be cool. And then just another gravel bike because I'm a freaking douche bag like that. I'm like, I could build another one. That'd be awesome. And then a road bike, so that I could go ride with my partner, Dan, you know what I'm saying? I have a video where I rode with my Uncle Dan. And he's a roadie. He likes it. And if I was riding with him again, I might have to get a road bike. This guy overtook me, you know what I mean? And so I was like, I felt some kind of way about it. Actually, I didn't feel any kind of way about it. By this time, I could have gunned it on him, but you see how there's a lot of stop signs and stops and starts and everything? I just was like, whatever. I don't want to do that. And so, even though my pride wanted me to go, let's gun this guy. Then sometimes when you overtake people like that, you gotta stay going hard, right? It's just so you can be like, well, I overtook him, now I gotta really dust him. I just didn't do any of that, so you can see me I got dropped on the way back home. And I'm just rambling at this point. Thank you for watching the video, man. If you like any of this nonsense, it resonates with you, like and subscribe. I'm gonna talk to you soon, all right? Peace.